also part of the Full STEAM Ahead program this week, organised by Acorn Education Services. So throughout this week we learnt more about people living with disabilities and the physical and attitudinal barriers that they face on a daily basis. So our project was to design a system that would help overcome these barriers. So we developed the automated wheelchair transporter. The automated wheelchair transporter provides easier and more efficient access into vehicles for people in wheelchairs. It's a fully automated system, so it will elevate the wheelchair and put it into the car and the wheelchair will take the position of a driver's seat, so the person in the wheelchair can drive a vehicle. We had a height restriction of 2.2 meters for the user. Our weight was about 140 kilograms without the wheelchair, and it's suited for all ages, so anyone who's eligible to drive a car. So the wheelchair would replace a normal seat, so a seat would be taken out and a wheelchair would be installed. So it would have a pulley-like system in the back. If a wheelchair was not there.
Sorry, you grabbed the wrong one. That's a lot of parts.
Yeah. We'd have a normal seat takeover, so anyone could still drive the car.
So this is our initial brainstorm. The initial brainstorm was used to come up with the idea to build something. The ideas on the mind map include a wheelchair driving car, which the wheelchair basically drives into and becomes the seat of the car. But the problem with that is there was no room for cargo and it was only suitable for one person. Other solutions were getting into the car, but you'd have to take off the wheelchair, which would just be a pain. So this is our product brainstorm. The product brainstorm shows ideas of what we were going to make. So ideas included stairs that turn into a ramp, rotating shelves, wheelchairs that can go upstairs, as well as our wheelchair lift.
Okay, so we'll now demonstrate how it would work. We have there's a video on the case. From the video, is it possible to play that? Yeah.
Videos, yeah.
Okay. It should be fine.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, it just kind of works. It's not a great video, but yeah. Okay. Laura, you good to talk?
Okay, so this would always be situated in the car, so it wouldn't come out, but for demonstration purposes, we will leave it out here. So there's a rotating disc on the bottom, and all of this is located on the rotating disc. So this would rotate out here, then the door would open, these would slide out. For this purpose, we have a pulley system that we did print on the 3D printers. Yeah. But in an ideal world, it would all be operated by a hydraulic system, so that would power it. And then the wheelchair would be elevated, placed inside the car. The user has a remote control like car key to change the position, the height of the seat and the distance from the wheelchair, so they can adjust that. The wheelchair is also secured during the drive, so the wheelchair is safely in place. The user gets to operate the movement, so they can choose when to lock the doors or open and then exit the car using the system.
Yeah. Okay, so the primary functional components of the seat would be the pulley system, the mechanical remote, and the harness. plate, mechanical arms, and lifting system would all be powered by a hydraulic system that would run by the diesel engine of the car. All of these components would be connected to a car key-like size remote that could also control the car so that it's easy, accessible, and convenient. There would also be the Houdini harness so that the wheelchair user would be strapped into the car rather than the chair in case something goes wrong and the chair moves.
Yeah, we also found that the harness would be easier for the user to put on compared to a seatbelt, as you would have to reach across. The harness, you just have to pull across your chest like that.
Yeah. So this was our original prototype.
Yeah. So we have upgraded that
Kind
a
of
bit.
broke. I think it's in here somewhere.
Yeah.
But so it kind of turned from that to that, but yeah.
Okay, just quickly, we'd like to thank Acorn Education Services, especially Georgina and Adam, for being very, very patient with us and providing us with constant assistance and this opportunity. We'd also like to thank Engineers Australia for letting us be in this space for this week, MakerBot for allowing us to use their 3D printers. We'd like to thank all of you for coming here today and watching us present, and we would also like to thank all the girls who did this program with us. You made it very enjoyable, so thank you.
Girls do work on their own, so we can only offer some suggestions and help. And Adam is a civil engineer, so he brings in those extra skills to it as well. So, but we really enjoy these programs because they come up with some amazing ideas. And how great will it be down the track if they see something like their concepts brought to fruition? And I think when they head off to uni, now they're looking for people that can create and can design. They don't want them just to go and study one thing. They want them to be able to cover the full gamut.
I actually participated in a work placement organised by Acorn Education 2 weeks ago. So that was at an engineering firm as well. So I really enjoyed that. And as a result, I also signed up for this one because I'm really interested in kind of STEM and what it has to offer. So yeah.
I think a couple of the other girls mentioned that maybe being at year 10 now, STEM and STEAM have just really gained momentum the last few years. So some of them have actually missed out on a lot of it because we run these programs very similar to this with primary students too. And they come up with amazing things as well, but they're growing up now in the age that all their classes are combined, they're combined, they get an opportunity to look at it from such a different angle than any of us would have. So hopefully this has given that little bit of insight into it, that you don't just do physics, you don't just do history, it all comes together and meshes. So you guys have anything to say about that?
Well, I can say only just gave us a STEAM subject this year, and for a lot of students now year level, or even from year 10, not even year 9 and up, they're not really exposed to science, technology, engineering or mathematics, or even arts in the sense that they only offer one particular art. So to have programs like this that enable us to understand we can do this in engineering, or we can do, by doing maths, this can help us do this and this. So that's what I guess this program enabled us to do this week.
So do you reckon you go back and advocate with Ms McInerney to we should have more of these STEM programs?
Yeah, and it's good as well because, like, from our school scene, the girls who are looking at STEM and STEAM, they're quite interested in it. So, like, our group kind of missed out on that, but there's a few of us who already know that that's something we want to.
But what about those kids who are already don't really think science or maths is for them, or it's too hard? Do you think doing something like this where you see, you did pulleys, fantastic work, and you had rotating things, awesome stuff. How'd you deal with all, like learning your maths because you need it for that? Does that make a difference to how you feel about maths and science?
Yeah, I think when students, because in high school you're really only exposed to this is biology, this is chemistry, this is physics, this is mathematics. But the issue that I think I've seen in my own school is that our own teachers don't say, okay, if you do this, this and this, you don't just have to become a maths teacher, you don't just have to become a science teacher. You can go into research, you can become an engineer. A lot of mathematicians and physicists, I visited the University of Melbourne and they discussed this. They go into other types of work like business, and until students begin to recognise that you can do anything with these sorts of subjects, that's when they really begin to understand, hey, maybe this isn't as bad as what I thought it would be. Because I know definitely from year 7 to year 10, my opinion on these subjects have changed so much.
And how much of that's based on the teachers who make it exciting for you?
I guess some teachers do, some teachers don't, and that's the situation at every school. But when you begin to realise, hey, you know, I'm doing this in physics, like I don't know if any other schools do this. Last year in year 9, we actually did have a design program in physics where we used circuits to design a prototype. And then when I saw that, I was like, hold on a second, maybe I want to do engineering. And then I went to the air show and I saw planes and I'm like, hold on, this is amazing. So based on what I've learned at school, I can actually apply this to real life. So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
I think a couple of years ago, Shelley and I were both involved in a program down at Deakin in Warren Ponds. And they did a program much like this, but they did it at a university in their engineering space. Deakin Warren Ponds have just recently opened what they call the Cadet Center. And students, when they enter there, by the time they finish, it's not just an engineering degree, but they've done the design of the product and they can take something to fruition. So by the time they walk out, they can have a completed prototype. They can use any type of engineering involved in that. But, and we filmed one group of kids and they made the comment they had to design a relief center, and they made a comment that, and Shelley was filming it from the CEM's perspective, we couldn't have paid the kids to word it any better. Because they said when we were doing trigonometry, we couldn't figure out how in the hell we would ever use it in real life. And for a week, that's all they used in designing the project. So I think with organizations like ours and a lot of others that are doing these type of programs, the kids have a real life experience. And we've chosen to work in the disability area a lot, because I think all the projects that I've been involved in where students have done something for somebody else, it brings out that element of, and I've yet to find the word that says it adequately for me, but it's that element of heart and the element of caring and sharing. And they'll never be the same again. They're going to look at life in general just totally different. And for me, that's really important. So that's basically what Acorn does. But without the kids and without the parents supporting them, we couldn't do that. So thank you. Okay, off we go. We've got certificates for each of you. Okay, thank you, everybody.